Hello, I'm Joey and this is Scooter, and we're gonna open up your shoulders to de-stress today. I would like you to grab a couple of blocks if you have them, or makeshift something about this size to give you a little lift, and a strap. And if you don't have a strap, the tie from a rope or a big long belt will be super helpful, whatever you've got, but ideally it's a strap. So let's get started. You're gonna start sitting on your yoga block if that's where you like to kind of be. I know I do. And then you're gonna take the strap right away. And you're gonna bring it around kind of your nipple line. So it's coming from the back, and you wanna make sure you have equal sides on either side of your shoulders. And then you're gonna throw them over your shoulders and make sure that's nice and taut. Then from there, you're going to cross the strap in the back, making an X. And really pull tight so that it's a really nice little yoga backpack. And once you have that, find a nice tall spine and sit up, and you're gonna pull on either side of the strap. So it's gonna pull your shoulder blades back and down, offering your heart forward. Sit up tall in your spine and then tuck your chin slightly. And then just tuck your chin fully so that you're really getting a stretch through the back of your neck. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're gonna reverse your chin the other way. So open up your heart forward, drop your head back. Keep pulling tightly on the straps on either side. And then come back to center. And then you're gonna drop your ear over to the left and pull even more tightly on the right side so that you're getting a lovely little stretch in the right side of your neck. Try and wiggle your toes, relax your bum muscles. Let your jaw hang and really feel and visualize your shoulder blades kissing behind your heart. And that's gonna drop them down even closer towards your belly button even, but on the back body. Good. Release the right side and then drop your ear over to the right shoulder, creating a little length in the left side of your neck. Pull a little bit more on the left side of the strap so that you're getting that full stretch through your neck. Notice if your belly is pulling in and if your butthole is clenched. See if those things can soften. And just breathe. Good. Come back to center. Now pull both of them even tighter so that you're squeezing your elbows into your rib cage, dropping your head back and offering your heart forward. Good. Then from here, we're gonna make a little circular action. So over to the left, just let your body kind of curl so that you find a bit of a side body stretch. And then drop your head forward so that you're rounding the upper spine as you make your way over to the right side. And then come all the way up. Let's reverse that action the other way. So drop your body over towards the right. Then curl your upper spine forward. Then drop your head over to the left. Good. One more just like that, however you want to. Maybe you make it a little bit more fluid. Maybe you go all the way around. Maybe do that a couple times as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And then maybe reverse that circular action the other way. So you're really just rolling that upper thoracic spine, your neck, and your shoulders, and your head. Good. Then release all of that. Take your yoga backpack off. And then just give yourself a nice hug so that we're reversing the action that we just opened up the front of the body. See if you can kick back into your shoulder blades and really feel the benefits of what you just kind of loosened up. Open your arms nice and wide on an inhale. And then whatever arm was on top, make sure the other one goes on top this time as you give yourself a big hug. Round your body forward. separate your shoulder blades with your breath, your awareness, and maybe even clawing your shoulder blades apart with your fingertips. Beautiful. Good, release that. You're gonna grab a hold of your strap again. Up to you how much flexibility you have in your shoulders or how much stress you have in your shoulders. And you can either double up the strap or create it as long as you want. But as we do this, I'd like you to try and keep your elbows straight. So sit up nice and tall in your spine. You're gonna inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And then on the exhale, bring them behind you, keeping your arms as straight as possible. Inhale, bring your arms all the way back up. And then exhale, bring them forward. If you're like, Joey, this is easy peasy, tighten up on the rope so you're shortening how much length is in between your hands. Inhale up, exhale back. Connect to your breath, inhale up, exhale forward. 2 more, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good, this time we're gonna go over to the left. Bring your right arm high and send it over your body. Now bring your left arm behind you so that you're getting this real pressing sensation through your scapula. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can kind of see what's happening in my rib cage. I'm gonna press my chest forward, draw my shoulder blades back and down, and really trying to open my heart towards the ceiling. Good, take a big breath here. And then exhale, you're gonna lift the other arm all the way up and come to the other side. Straighten both arms, slingshot your chest forward and your heart up towards the sky. Say goodbye to everything that's living in your shoulders rent-free. Inhale. Good, exhale. Good, send your arms all the way over to the right and then come all the way back to center. We're gonna take that as a fluid action this time. So right arm up, left arm down. Bring your left arm up, right arm down. And send your arms over to the right. Take this circle one more time, this direction. You got it. We're going to reverse it the other way. Switching sides. Exhale. Notice how the breath gets into every crevice of your body, especially the rib cage, in between all those beautiful ribs. Good. And when you're done with that, let that go. Let's put the strap to the side. We'll come back to it in a minute. Okay, Scooter. Good. Coming onto your hands and knees. You're going to take those 2 blocks of yours, and they can be on different levels. If you're a bit of a beginner and you don't have a lot of flexibility in your shoulders, I recommend putting the 2 blocks side by side on their lowest level. If you've got a little bit more in you and you're a little more curious about how to open up a little further, bring the blocks side by side onto their second highest level. You seeing a trend here? If you want even more, put them on the highest level, or if you're feeling super saucy, just 1. I'm gonna choose the second level today, side by side. And then I want you to bring your elbows to the furthest point of the block away from you. So get the bony parts of your elbows onto the blocks. Then you're gonna walk yourself back and drop your head on the other side of the block so that your forehead comes to the ground. Maybe you tuck your toes. Drop your heart so that you feel your shoulder blades kissing, which is gonna allow your heart to really soften towards the ground. And then if you want a little more, bend your elbows, making sure your hands are in a prayer position. And bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. And then breathe into your armpits. Maybe you untuck your toes to push the tops of your feet into the floor. Maybe you let your belly hang even more. And just breathe. Inhale
Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the nose. Two more big breaths. Slowly come out of this by straightening your elbows forward, lifting your chest and your gaze. Bring your hands underneath you. And let's bring the blocks to their lowest level, right underneath your shoulders. And all I want you to do here is just play with shifting your weight over your wrists and then a little bit back. And then keep this action going. Maybe there's a little slight tuck of your shoulders as you start to ripple your body. I like to tuck my tailbone down so that I'm rolling through my spine to undulate my chest forward. Take that a couple of times. And if you want to go the other way, that is also a possibility. But be playful here. See what's up. Good. And when you're done with that, bring the blocks over to the side. And you're going to lay down on your belly. So shifting yourself all the way to the right knife side of the yoga mat so that it's down your midline. You're going to extend your left arm directly out from your left shoulder with your palm facing down. The right arm is underneath your right shoulder in a push-up position. Now get your elbow high and turn your left cheek to the floor. Then you're going to push into your right hand and roll onto your left side, bringing your right foot behind you. Options here to keep the right foot on the floor, or you can bend the knee and place the right foot behind your left knee. If you're feeling happy here, stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can reach your right arm up to the sky, and then bend your right elbow and place your right hand behind your back. Breathe deeply into the front of your left shoulder. And soften the belly, the butt, the toes, the bottoms of the feet, the roof of your mouth, your tongue. And let it all spill out. Let the caves of the body have a little bit of light shone into them. And take 3 big breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out your nose. And if your right knee is softening towards the floor behind you, causing you to open up a little bit more in the front of your shoulder and maybe even in your spine, let it happen. One more breath. And on your next inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Slowly roll onto your belly, going out the exact same way that you came into the posture. Sorry, Scooter. Bring your right cheek to the floor and bring both palms to face the ceiling beside your hips so that the backs of your hands are on the ground. Take a moment just to recover. Feel all the good that you just did in your left shoulder and your spine. And let's slither our way over to the left side of the mat. Bringing it down your midline. Extend your right arm directly out from your shoulder, palm facing down onto the floor. Your right cheek goes to the floor and your left hand goes into a push-up position. Push into your left hand and slowly roll onto your right side as your left leg extends behind you. Or maybe you bend your left knee, placing your left foot behind your right knee onto the floor. Make sure that your palm is pressing into the earth. And then if you're feeling like you'd like a little bit more, extend your left arm up to the sky, bend your left elbow and place your left hand behind your back. Try and relax your bum muscles and your belly. Wiggle your toes. And keep that offering of the spiral of opening up your chest towards the ceiling and your left knee going back behind you towards the ground. Maybe one day it actually touches the earth behind you as your butt muscles touch the floor too. Today may not be that day, and that's okay. As we sit in this pose on our right side, I just want you to be mindful of what's living in your shoulder, especially the right shoulder. The right side of the body is our masculine side. Did you have a fight with your brother, your boss, your lover, your kid, your dog? See if you can feel all of that moving out your fingertips, out your palm. Maybe it's leaving your spine. Just give it a little thank you, but gently ask it to take a hike. Take one more big breath here. And on your next inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Place your left hand on the floor and slowly lower yourself back onto your belly. Bringing both palms to face the ceiling beside your hips, and turn your left cheek to the floor. Take a moment in this position. And then when you're ready, grab that block again. This time, place it underneath you so that your forehead has somewhere to go. You're gonna cross your elbows so that they touch, your palms facing up. And you're gonna try and wiggle your body so that you get as much of a cross of your arms as you possibly can. Try and keep your pinky and your thumb on the floor, and then lay your forehead onto the block. Notice how this is opening up your shoulders in whatever way that you're tightest. There is no right answer of where you should feel this, but just feel. What's the sensation of opening? What's the sensation of letting go? What does that genuinely feel like? Is it tingly? Is it a pulling sensation? Is it hot? Is it numb? Just articulating it and giving it a name is helpful with the letting go process. When you're ready, switch the crossing of your arms. So if the left one was on top, put the right, and the right, the left, you get it. Forehead to the block. And if you're like, Joey, I can't get my forehead on the block, you can switch the level of the block. There's always options. And just notice that the right side is going to be different than the left. The left side is the feminine. Did you have a fight? Do you have anxiety? What's the stress that's living there that's in the feminine shoulder? Or maybe there's nothing and it just feels really lovely. That's an option too. Good. Slowly come out of that when you're ready. And then put the block to the side. Tucking your toes and send yourself all the way into a child's pose. So drop your forehead to the floor. Walk your fingertips forward. But make this active, so you're pressing your palms into the ground and the eye of the elbow. So the part where you would have a IV or a needle stuck in, that big beautiful vein, spin that guy towards the sky. Make sure your chest has somewhere to go in between your thighs and that your toes are kissing. Bow your forehead to the floor. Good. Now from this position, take your block again, and you're gonna put it underneath, right at your elbow line. And this time you're gonna come up onto cupcake hands, and you're gonna tuck your toes and send your seat back towards your heels. Now look forward, lift your chin, and drop your chin onto the block. Puppy dog pose. If you're like, Joey, this is crazy, lift the block up to a second level. But I'm really trying to get that accentuation of your heart dropping towards the floor and just reversing the neck in a different way. If this isn't good for you, just go back to putting your head onto the block. No big deal. But if you'd like more, walk yourself into that puppy dog position again and really spin the eye of the elbow forward, dropping your heart, squeezing your shoulders together, sticking your butt out like you mean it. Opening up the heart and the shoulder blades all at the same time. This position calms the mind. So at any given time during the day when you're having anxiety and your thoughts are getting out of control, this is a really great position to take. Right, and when you're done with that, move the block out of the way. Walk yourself back onto your knees and just sit down onto your knees. Take a moment just to feel the difference in your upper body and maybe your mood. Isn't that nice? So for this next pose, it's not for everyone, but it's a nice stretch through the back of the neck if you can get there. So if it's something you would like to do, it's called rabbit's pose in yoga. You're gonna tuck your toes, and you're gonna place your forehead where your hairline meets your forehead onto the floor. And you wanna get it as close to your knees as you possibly can. So from there, I'm gonna grab onto my heels, and I'm gonna lift my seat up so that I'm rolling onto the top of my head, and I'm getting a nice stretch through the back of my neck. If you need to readjust, go for it. But the closer that your face can come to your knees, the better. And then straighten your elbows, but make sure that you're holding on to the backs of your ankles, your heels. Squeeze your heels into the midline and really push to get a little bit more traction in the back of your neck. Relax your tongue. And if you have big boobs, try not to suffocate. One more breath. Good. Unwind from that guy. Ooh, slowly roll up your spine, making sure your head is the very last thing to come up. Ooh, we're going to take a version of that for our last pose. You're going to take your strap, and if you don't have a strap, you're just going to tie a knot. But it's not a very big knot, but the loop is quite large, okay? Make it as large as you kind of can. And you're going to swing your legs around, take a seat, and slowly roll onto your back. Now with that large loop, I want you to put one around your right foot or your left, it doesn't matter. And then the rest of the strap around what's called your occiput. See that little bump at the back of your head? Just underneath that. And then you want to get the tension just right so that as you straighten your leg, you're getting a little bit of traction in the back of your neck. Then from there, extend your bottom leg. Make sure everything is parallel. And then your palms are going to face up with your arms beside you. And then close your eyes and just try and let everything go. Your week, your month, maybe the last 2 years. Just feel it leave your system out the bottoms of your feet and the top of your head. And then just gently start to tick-tock your leg right and left. And just see how that makes your skull move differently on your spine. Get really curious about the back of the neck and the head. And if there's a spot that feels real good, stay there. Soften your tongue and your focus. And then take your attention to your heart. Can there be a softening around your heart? Or a curiosity about how big your heart is? Can you feel to the edges of your heart and beyond? And then can that let you soften even more into the pose? Switching sides by just ever so gently taking the opposite leg and putting it in the space where your first leg was. And you're taking the exact same pose. Palms facing up. And really let your head hang. It's called a yoga hammock. So you should really feel that sensation of just letting everything hang. The muscles off of the bones. The bones being perfectly in alignment. The femur moving into the hip. The hips squaring and the back flat on the floor. The traction in the back of the neck, creating just a little bit of space. Tick-tock your leg right and left. Notice if there's tension in your foot, or if you're trying to do something. What's it like to just be and receive? There is no try. And then when you've had enough of that, slowly take the strap off your foot and your neck. Put it to the side. Palms face up. Close your eyes. And just take a minute or 5 or 10 or 20 to just be with yourself. To acclimate in corpse pose, Shavasana. When I'm in Shavasana, if I can't quite quiet my mind, I like to scan my body. So start at the top of your head. What do you feel? Then go down the front and the back body, the forehead and the occiput, the mouth and the back of the throat. Can you soften your throat into your clavicle, then down into the 3-dimensional shape that is your rib cage? Having curiosity for that dripping sensation down into your lower pelvis and your genitals. Soften your butt muscles and the smile of the bum especially. Feel the muscles of the thighs and the hamstrings hanging off of the bone with their generosity and their weight. The backs of the knees opening with the sensation of a breath inwards. The calves letting down all the way into the bottoms of your feet and out your toes. Making sure your palms are facing up to receive energy or light or love or whatever it is that you want to put into your palms. Let those palms be full of something that you want, or something that you want to let go of. And then bring those palms to your body. Maybe they both go onto your heart. Maybe one goes onto your belly. Maybe they're on your hips. Maybe one is on your forehead and the top of your head. Whatever feels good for you. But just receive that energy, that want, that love, and put it into your body. Maybe you smile inside. Maybe you smile on the outside too. Thanking yourself for your work and your love. Slowly roll onto your side, coming into a fetal position. Coming up to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Tucking your chin slightly. Maybe your hands come to your heart or in a prayer. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Thanks, friends.